Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Naya Sim, and thank you all so much for all the love and support. Hope you all are doing great. So we'll be talking something very important, and it's about how colored women really doing the most recently. Going on every black woman's post, trying to drop comment that does not make any sense. I have no idea why they are doing that, but that is best known to them. Now, all the things you see mostly right now are then asking it, why is it that black women and white women cannot coexist? Or why is it that they cannot support one another? The reality is that black women have always been there for everybody. From the onset to this very moment, they have been keeping up with everybody. And now they decided that we are not going to continue doing this because you all are also not helpful. Not just only not being helpful, wherever, when at our places of work, like everywhere all around, you all are not helpful. And the fact that you all are also not looking for a way to speak or talk about it is just another one. They are always very defensive when it comes to things like that. And each time there is always a conversation trying to talk about how rich they see some of them are within places of work and all that. They become very emotional and very defensive, making it even harder for communication to happen. Black people have been saving, especially black women, have been saving them from the onset to this very moment. But there is something I am going to say. There is nothing like saving anybody or saving democracy anybody this time around. Whatever happens, happens. Let's get into this video.
Nobody said all white women were racist. You made that up. This is you being willfully obtuse. I have dealt with racist white women like you for my whole black life. You start off hiding your racism, masking it behind niceties, hoping that the black woman that you are engaging with lacks the consciousness to be able to see through that. And then when we call you on it, all of your filthy, nasty racism comes pouring out of you. Not all white women are racist, but you are definitely a racist. When you want a little attention, all you got to do is attack a black woman to get it. If you want a bunch of followers, or you want to go viral, or you want a sponsorship, just attack black women and rage farm black women and you'll get it. And apparently, if you want your little song to debut at #1, attack a black woman. Black women don't have a lot of protection. We have little to none, and everybody knows that, including Eminem. Everybody watched in real time how Megan Thee Stallion got shot, how she not even was willing to initially name her attacker, still got called every name in the book, received no support from her very own community, got laughed at, talked about, accused of lying. This man was arrested, convicted, and jailed for her assault, and people still calling this girl a liar because misogyny, misogynoir, racism, patriarchy, white supremacy. Black women have little to no protection. And so Megan Thee Stallion gonna be a target, an easy target for anybody in the industry looking for a come up or a reset. Eminem can't attack black men because black men are the ones who made him rich and famous. But he can attack black women because he knows those very men who made him rich and famous are not gonna protect her. And that's just the truth. Feel your feelings. I don't care. Fun fact, I grew up down the street from Marshall Mathers. He grew up on 8 Mile and Ryan. I grew up on 7 Mile and Ryan. The trashy trailer park that he was raised in, ain't no way you coming out of there woke and conscious. I'm surprised they didn't fly Confederate flags on top of the trailers. But he can't be that person out loud and proud because black people gave him everything. And I mean everything. But he can be that to black women without getting checked. And the fact that so many of y'all don't seem to have a problem with that is crazy. Like y'all don't have black mamas, black sisters, black wives, black daughters, black cousins, black homegirls. He didn't need to attack her in order for that song to be great. He's Eminem. He attacked her because this is who he is at his core, and it's who he's always been. And y'all not acknowledging these issues about white people as a whole is exactly why they're so comfortable with casually disrespecting us out loud and proud. As a whole. Good morning, TikTok. Let's do a morning coffee today. Got your coffee? This is going to be a long video, but I hope you all stay with me because I'm going to try to say something that needs to be said and something that's very important. With that being said, there's a white woman in my comments if you go back and look at the last couple of videos, and we're having this discussion. It all started with the white woman whisperer and how she was demonetized by white women who couldn't handle what she was saying about their racism. And so a white woman came into my comments and said, I get what she's saying. I understand it. But it's now the time for that. Women's rights are being taken away from them. We don't need to be divided. Baby, we already divided. We already been divided. We already been divided. You know, you hear, as a black woman, you hear that comment a lot from white women and other women. That is just a polite racist way of saying we white women need your numbers in order to get our agenda met. And so we need for you to stop talking about how we are harming you, and we need for you to shut up and play along and go vote the way that we need you to vote in order to get our rights back. Meanwhile, they're saying nothing to the white women, who more white women than not voted for Trump and voted for the men who created these policies and got these laws passed. And never mind the fact that black women and other women of color told white women that this was in fact what was going to happen. But because they always want us to shut up and not listen and play along, they turned their ears off to what we were saying. As always, that's the way that it goes. When is the time for black women to put our agendas first? When is the time for black women to discuss how our sons can't drive down the street or walk down the street without their lives being invariably put in danger by some racist cop? And when do we get to talk about our infant mortality rates? When do we get to talk about what is happening in our communities and affect our communities? You know, that's the thing of it is that if you don't pay attention, black people, white people, racist people will talk you into not caring about your community and caring more about other communities than you do your own. Right now, a whole lot of you take, for instance, I'm not saying that a genocide isn't important. But if you are not giving just as much energy to Haiti, Sudan, Congo, and the silent genocides that are going on in black communities all across America, as you are to Gaza, you have been conditioned to care more about other. And that's the truth. But this tactic, we get this tactic a lot. We also get it from the men in our community. And now you're going to hear black men say, well, why is she dragging us in it? Because we get it from y'all too. Don't be divisive. You're being divisive. Don't talk about the harm that we're doing to you through misogyny, patriarchy, misogynoir. Just shut up and do what we need you to do. When do black women get to say, this is harmful to us, the way that we are being treated? And so no more, no more. We are not playing along to get along anymore. That's it. And as if black women have not always been doing the work of what's best for everyone, the collective, women and black people. When have we not been doing that work? We have been born doing that work. We have been conditioned to do that work. It's just time for white women to do better. Just be better women. And black women not believing you when you're saying things like, I'm listening and I want to do better. Meanwhile, we do not have reparations. Our schools are not being fully funded. Our sons and husbands are not safe in the streets. We cannot get anti-lynching laws passed. We cannot get voter right laws passed. We cannot get rights passed that help make things better for Black Americans. DEI is being under attack. Affirmative action has been taken away. Where are y'all in that? But we're divisive. Y'all have a good day. Because patriarchy says that we all have a role to play, and that the role of the Black woman here in America is the role of mule, messenger, mammy. We have been cast in the role of helpmate to everyone, that we are supposed to do the work without complaint and with little to no regard for ourselves and our own issues. Yes, we are women and our issues intersect with white women. And yes, we are Black and our issues intersect with Black men. But we are also Black women and we have issues that are unique unto us. And we are in full understanding of that, even though others aren't. And we have tried to be heard on those issues, only to be ignored, dismissed, and like you said, treated so bad. And me personally, I think that until we start getting some respect, we need to worry about ourselves.
It could be women supporting all women. But see, the issue is that historically, white women have done everything but have Black women's backs. That goes for Indigenous women and other women of color. You see, historically, white women have been known to cause trauma and pain throughout history. And that's as far as we understand it. The reason why women cannot support all women or other women, because there's no true solidarity, there's no true womanhood when it comes to Black women or Indigenous women and other women of color and white women. And when we're talking about this, it's especially Black women, because white women don't see Black women as feminine. White women don't see Black women as equals. So it's hard to imagine someone fighting for the equality of a group of people when it's mainly white women who vote against the best interests of Black women, Indigenous women, and other women of color, as well as their own best interests. It's hard to have solidarity with a group of women who would rather think about their own comfort and status or positions of wealth and power than look at the greater good and how the decisions and voting and choices that they're making and connections that they're supporting are affecting non-white women. It's hard to have solidarity with a group of women who want to rally up and fight together and be in cahoots and be in unity with Black women and other women of color when white women's rights are at stake or under fire. But when it's Black women's rights, when it's Indigenous women's rights, when it's other women of color's rights, white women are nowhere around. White women are over there in the laps of white supremacy, being the lapdogs that they are. It would be wonderful for Black women to be able to finally rest and take our capes off and have other people come to our rescue rather than us being called upon to rescue everyone else. But I don't feel like there can be complete solidarity until white women start and learn how to decenter their own experiences, decenter their own opinions, their own feelings and thoughts, and listen to Black women, Indigenous women, and other women of color, to uplift the voices of Black women, Indigenous women, and other women of color, and to center the things that directly affect Black women, Indigenous women, and other women of color instead of just white women. These intersections are understood for white women when it comes to being a woman and being white, but when it comes to being a woman and being Black in America, white women's brains just seem to click off. And this is why when it comes to the whole situation of man versus bear, When you ask black women who would we rather go into a conference room with, a white man or a white woman, we're always going to choose the white man. Because white women prove a graver danger to black and brown bodies than anyone else in history. And this is not to say that there are not good white women out there. This is not to say that there are not white women that we love, that we are close to, that we have in our families, or that we have as our friend group, or whatever the case is. But when it comes to true solidarity, true woman supporting other women, white women have historically failed at being a sister over and over again. So when it comes to asking why we can't all just be women and support other women, you shouldn't be asking black women that question.
So this is all I got from this video, and they really made great points. The truth is that they keep asking you, why is it that women, why can't women just love and support one another? White women love and support when our fellow women make a trend instead of feeling intimidated, and all women stop throwing shade on other women. Nobody threw shade on you people. The truth is that she actually came out direct. Whatever conversation that happened about white women not supporting black women actually was not a shade, right? It was a conversation that came out straight up, right? And the fact that all of them, they have been running around and going up and down, looking for a way to say, or not even looking for, saying that we all can support one another. The truth is that our black women have always been there for everybody, not just only pop-colored women, Asians, the rest of it. They have fought side by side with everybody. There is no culture or any race you talk about that will tell you that well, black women forsake me or did not come out to speak up for us when we needed them or something like that. But the truth is that they know how to abuse her thing and then come back later to tell you that can we make an amend, or can you save democracy and the rest of it. Like I have said several times before now, that I see anytime, any day something goes wrong, nobody is saving any democracy. If you mess up this coming election or whenever, we all will stay in it till whenever it is resolved. Black women are not your superhero. So wake up and fight. You all already see what is going on in the United States. Police brutality, Crown Act, redlining. See, like I keep saying, if there is anyone that can change what is going on, especially when it comes to inequality, what is going on? Especially when it comes to inequality or dismantling the system that has been oppressing black people, trust me, colored women can easily end some certain things without even thinking of it. But the reality is that they are always very selfish when it comes to some certain things and would not even help out and the rest of it. So why do you want black women to work hand in hand with you? It's literally impossible. And I am really tired of them running up and down looking for a way. Like, it is amazing how you see all of them everywhere on every black woman's post, looking for a way to say some certain things and all that. And this one I actually started with, why is it that everyone needs all? Okay, no, I think it's not this one. All white women are ready to desist. State specifically how I, as a white woman, has hurt you. And the fact that they keep asking you, how did I hurt you, and all that. Like she was also trying to explain that that doesn't mean that there are not good white women out there. There are so many great of them in some people's lives and all that they've been kind and good to. But that does not accept that there are not bad ones. And when we say white women, that doesn't mean that we are actually calling you race, disease, and all. But we are trying to tell you all that majority of you all are all bad eggs. And the fact that they refuse to sit down and ask questions and talk about it shows how, I don't want to say ignorant or something, how unserious they are about it. And they are also going to be the first people to ask you, what can we do to make it better? Man, go and read book, make research, because they always want to hear from you to know, what am I supposed to tell you how to treat me right? If you cannot treat me well or right as a human being, so there, how am I supposed to start telling you you're supposed to pamper me, you're supposed to do this for me, and the rest of it? You all know what is good and what is bad. You know left from right. So you all should start from that. Make research on your own and start doing it. So as far as I am concerned, Black women are no longer saving anybody. Mess around and find out. Mess up, stay in that mess till whenever it is done. See you all in my next video. Bye for now.